Hey guys, it's Carrie here at Barefoot Consultants, and you are joining me in sun-dappled San Miguel de Allende. I'm back again for another round of oral surgery. I told you guys a few months ago that I was going through some things and that I had sought out a specialist here. So I'm on the road, but not out of pocket entirely. I'm here with you doing this little mini training video. And today, what I wanted to talk about actually was this concept of your value as a teacher of English. And I know that some of you, if you attended my Earn with English online masterclass, you heard me talk about this, and I've talked about it in a few webinars as well. But I just don't think that you can talk about this enough, to be honest. I really think that a lot of your mindset for success comes from understanding and believing in the value that you bring to the table as a teacher. So if you are doubting your value, or if you have a day when you doubt your value, or if you apply for a job and don't get it and start to wonder if you have enough to offer to be enticing enough to hire, this might be a video you want to come back to at some future time. So first of all, and you've heard me say this over and over again, one of your highest values as a teacher is as a native speaker of English. And you know that the majority of English teachers around the world do not have English as their native language. And because you do, you are considered to have a skill that they do not have, actually. Yes, they might speak English very well, they might be bilingual, they might even understand things like grammar a little bit better than you do because you have innately used this language your entire life. But when it comes to hiring managers and even governments, actually, when it comes to getting a work visa and that kind of thing, they do consider a native speaker to have a different skill set and a better, higher skill set than someone who has learned English in their lifetime. So that's your number one. Now, for most of us, that doesn't really seem like a huge value add. We come to the table with that. Like, we had that at 5 years old, right? So it's the other values that you bring to the table that can really keep the wind in your sails in those days that you might not be feeling like things are really working for you. So let's just look at a few others that you might not have considered. First of all, of course, there is any background that you have, any training that you might have, any people skills that you bring from a prior career, any kind of thing that you've done where you've taught somebody something new before, whether that was in the form of some kind of manual that you wrote or some training that you did, something like that. You have been a teacher before. So for all of us, I think we've all been a teacher at one point or another. You are here because you want to take that to another level. And you really want to give back with this skill that you have that you know can change lives for people. Learning English is not a small thing. It really can change the course of someone's life. And you have a lot to offer in that respect. One of the things that you also offer, especially if you're thinking about like tutoring online, let's say, and you're thinking about doing one-on-ones, is that you bring to the table the ability to really tailor every lesson that you teach an individual student based on their individual needs. So as opposed to them going to a school, language school, for example, or any other setting where they're learning in a group setting, where maybe some of their needs are being met, but that instructor is also trying to meet the needs of other students. So when it comes to one-on-one, a huge value that you offer is that you will assess that student's needs. You will keep up to date on their changing landscape of what they need to do in their everyday world employing English, and to have somebody who can immediately adjust to those needs and bring to the table something that you've been struggling with and change that for you is huge. So not to be downplayed at all. And it might even be something that you want to talk about in your tutor bio, for example. Another value that you bring to the table is, of course, your unique personality. who you are, the ways that you connect with people. And we're all different. And that's a beautiful thing because students are all different too. And some of them might be looking for someone who is much more academically inclined and really likes kind of a regimented approach to, especially those organizers out there, and you know who you are, those organizers and analyzers, you might like that approach. Somebody else who's a little bit more free-spirited, maybe they really just enjoy connection, they just want to talk, they don't really want to have the kind of structure that another teacher, professor, or tutor might provide. So your unique personality is also a huge asset. Who you are and how you deliver content and how you deliver lessons is something that is entirely unique to you. And that in and of itself has value. So the fact that you're a native speaker, the fact that you have a lifetime career that you bring to the table of all kinds of people skills, knowledges, ways that you have taught people over your career something new and nurtured them through a process. Also, your uniqueness and who you are, and ultimately the fact that you are going to use all of that to your students' advantage and tailor it specifically to what they need, maybe even moment to moment, or at least lesson to lesson. So do not downplay the value that you have. And if you ever have one of those days where you're questioning that and you're wondering why you're doing this, or if what you have is of value, come back to this video and remind yourself that that's true. Or if you want to do something, an added extra bonus exercise, I'm going to, in the notes on this video, I'm going to link to the article that I featured in this week's newsletter, which has a little exercise that you can do that will remind you of the whys that you want to be an English teacher, and also the opportunities that this is going to open up to you, not to mention the opportunities for your students. So if you want to take this a step further, just go in the notes below and click on that link. It'll take you to our Barefoot Consultants website where you can read this week's article and do the little exercise and just remind yourself why you're in this so that you can stay committed, because there are so many people out there who are going to benefit from what you're doing here, and I want to see you get there. I want to see you get to helping those people and feeling what it feels like to make this kind of impact in the lives of others.